ActionSA is one of over 10 parties in the Joburg multi-party coalition, established after last year's local elections saw no clear majority. Let's discuss this and also the resignation of the party's KwaZulu-Natal leader, Makosi Khoza, with Funzela Ngobeni, National Director of Operations. Mr. Ngobeni, thank you for joining us. First of all, I have to say, we're somewhat disappointed. We were told by your team that Herman Meshaba would be joining us this evening. Do you know why he's decided not to join us?
Good evening, Sally, and good evening to your viewers. No, I'm not sure where the communication breakdown happened, but I'm joining you as invited, so I'm sure there was a miscommunication somewhere.
Yeah, we're pretty sure there wasn't, because it was a personal request from two of my colleagues, and it was a later decision that Mr. Mashava would be joining us. But I don't want to make you feel unwelcome, so let's proceed with the things that I wanted to speak about to ActionSA. First of all, what is the party's view on the way matters played out in the Joburg Council last night?
Yeah, Sally, look, we are quite disappointed, but we're not surprised. I mean, we know that the ANC have always, wanted to make sure that they disrupt whatever programs that will be implemented in this new administration. We were disappointed to see other parties joining them, like the EFF and other small parties, and it's quite disappointing. I mean, this is not how we should handle ourselves as public representatives. I'm saying ANC because I know in 2016, when Mr. Mashava was the mayor, they had made it their business to disrupt whatever meeting that we were trying to hold, whether it was council meeting or even public meetings. So. We're not surprised at the behaviour.
Disruptions, yes. Some suggesting last night that it was an attempt by the ANC to play for time to negotiate with some of those smaller parties. How concerned are you that some of the smaller parties in the multi-party coalition in Johannesburg are being wooed by the ANC?
Look, with regards to our bloc, we are quite confident that we have reached an agreement, and even last night when we had our multi-party engagement, we recommitted ourselves to this coalition, and we're not worried at all. We think that this group of parties that have formed this coalition, they've got integrity, they are honest, and we can all rely on each other to go forward and make sure that we implement what our residents have elected us to do, which is really a basic service delivery must be rendered, and we want to make sure that we do that. So we're not worried at this moment.
Do you have the same faith in your own members, that they won't be wooed by the ANC?
100%, Sally. We have no doubt. ActionSA, 44 council members come from various backgrounds, but if you look at the caliber of people that we have brought into council as councillors, men and women of integrity from the private sector. Some of them have come in from other political parties, obviously, but we are all together in this. We want to make sure that we fix our country, and this is just the beginning of fixing our country. We know that the work is still ahead of us.
Lots to be done, indeed. Let's talk then about Makosi Khoza. She was ActionSA's KwaZulu-Natal leader. She sent a resignation letter saying that she expected payment not only for being a councillor within eThekwini, but also for being the leader in the region for ActionSA. When did she send that letter?
Yes, the letter was sent in November, Sally. I think it was around the 26th of November, about that time.
All right. And when was that letter accepted, formally accepted by ActionSA? Did you attempt to talk her out of it? I suppose is what I'm asking.
Yeah, there was a meeting in December So that's when the letter was accepted in a Senate meeting.
In December?
Yeah.
Okay, so her resignation was accepted in December. When was her resignation announced? Just this week, wasn't it?
From being a provincial chairperson, no, that was made. There was a statement that was released around that time after the letter was accepted.
In December?
Yes.
All right. There has been a lot of discussion this week, and your leader, Herman Meshaba, concerned and very unhappy about the position that she was elected to in the eThekwini legislature. And basically, she was elected with ANC support, with an ANC nomination to the Municipal Public Accounts Committee. And listening, I've listened to interviews with Herman Meshaba speaking on 702 with Clement Manyatela, and he was very angry about that. You've just said that you're confident that your members are loyal to ActionSA and that even coalition members are loyal to the various coalitions. Is the real issue that Herman Meshaba doesn't think that Makosi Khoza is a loyal member of ActionSA?
Look, we were all shocked when he was elected. We saw that first time on the newspapers. I think so. It's not only Herman Meshaba. I think all Senate members were not aware that there was going to be an election of MPEC, and Makosi was being nominated and was going to be elected by, among others, members of the ANC. So we were all shocked, and I think. Herman has spoken quite a bit about it, and I think the process now has moved on. We have now, announced the new provincial chair of KZN.
I think that what I'm trying to get, you're saying you were shocked, and we know that Herman Meshaba is also on record as being shocked. Makosi Khoza says she's also shocked. She's suggesting that her resignation was only properly accepted once this fallout around this ANC nomination occurred. My question is, why is it such a big deal if the ANC, as part of council, nominates her for this committee if you know her to be a loyal member of your party? Why does it matter so much?
Look, I think, Sally, it's just a question of processes. I mean, we might be a new political party, but we're not a Mickey Mouse organization. So all of us need to do things according to the process of the party. So if there's going to be elections of Ngobeni at City of Johannesburg as a deputy mayor or as something, that process needs to start at the party level. A party needs to endorse it, and then you can go and stand in as a candidate. So there's no problem, but it's very important that we all must follow the party processes. We are a party of processes, and that must be applied to all. It must not be selective.
I wanted to speak to you as well about the way ActionSA is dealing with disgruntled members. Yesterday, outside the Johannesburg Council meeting, there was a group of Soweto councillors or nominees who were unhappy that they hadn't got positions because they say that Herman Meshaba promised them first consideration. Now, he didn't even bother to go and speak to them. And I wonder if things are starting to fray around the edges a little at ActionSA, and if perhaps your leader is taking quite a hard line instead of sitting down and speaking to people within the party who've got grievances. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, look, Sally, I think the first thing I need to clear up is that these are not members of ActionSA. They are not disgruntled members of ActionSA. These are expelled members, former members of our party. They were expelled late last year. And they've been obviously not happy about that, and they have all the right to raise their issues on the street or in whatever protest that they want to embark on. But that's a fact that they are no longer members. So, and we and a lot of people will not be aware, Sally, that these are not the first people that we expelled in the party. There have been attempts to really infiltrate our organization, to try and destabilize our program of action.
Sure.
And we have dealt with a group of people even before that tried to do so. So we accept to work with people in good faith, hoping that we are all committed to the cause. But once we identify that people want to undermine our constitution.
Do you believe that Makosi Khoza is trying to undermine you? And I ask this because she remains a member of council on the ASA ticket. So is there faith in her from the party to be a councillor? Is the party happy for her to stay where she is as an ordinary councillor?
Look, you're correct. She's still a member of ActionSA. She's still a councillor in eThekwini. But I must put it on record that Mr. Mashava has lodged a grievance and a complaint about Makosi, and that process will be undertaken within the prescript of the party in terms of disciplinary. So she's still a member, but there is a process that the disciplinary committee will undertake, and we'll wait for the results of that as well.
All right. Funzela Ngobeni, National Director of Operations for ActionSA, thank you so much for chatting to us this evening.